welcome back to the channel. And today we're having a look at a car that is absolutely beloved in South Africa. It has a cult following like no other car in this country, the E30 325is. And right here we have the 325is Homage. This car is supposed to embody the spirit of the original 325is, which was a terror on the streets and a terror on racetracks. So how did we end up with the 325is Evo 2 in South Africa? We couldn't get the E30 M3 because of a bunch of reasons. First of all, they were left-hand drive. Also, our government was up to some nonsense back in the days. I don't want to get into that because it paints my country in a bad light, and we are in a better place right now. None of that. So the 325is was a project by BMW and Alpina to give us a little, sorry guys, here's a consolation prize for not getting the most legendary M3, or at that time the best version of the 3 Series you could get. And BMW wanted to go racing in a race series called the Stanic Group N, where they had to take on Opel's Superboss, the 2-liter 16-valve terror that was tearing up tracks, and BMW needed a car to stop them in their tracks. So BMW went to Alpina, knocked on their doors and said, guys, come through to South Africa. We want your help to make a car that is going to be very competitive and it must work on the road. So they took a 2-door 325i, and the main things that they focused on was extra power and less weight. These are the things that made the 325is very special. It had aluminum bonnets, fenders, and a boot. Weight saving galore. The engine, extra kilowatts were massaged out of it by Alpina by having high compression pistons, different cams, and they reworked the cylinder head Alpina style, which gave the car 155 kilowatts, and it had 265 newton meters of torque. With only 2,700 cc's, it was 200 cc's more than the 325i. The end result was a car that only weighed 1,147 kilograms, and it was very competitive. They won a lot of races, gave the Opels a little bit of a bloody nose, and they cemented themselves as legendary cars. And this is what the car was known for, mostly in the townships in South Africa. Listen to that 6-cylinder sing. That is the M20 B27. You know how BMW anoraks are. We need to know the engine number. Now let's get around to the Homage itself. The Homage is a 2 Series and not a 3 Series, as you can see. BMW did this because the 2 Series is the closest thing size-wise to the original M3. It's the smallest car BMW produces, so instead of the massive 3 Series, they chose the 2 Series. I know, very controversial. So what does this 325is have under the hood? It's a 3-liter B58. I don't think I need to tell you anything more about this engine. Engine-wise, everything is still standard, which I feel is a money grab. BMW, stop it. Stop it with this.
Hey! Stop it. Stop it. Okay. All right.
It makes 285 kilowatts between 5,500 RPM and 6,500, and it makes 500 Newton meters of torque, which is almost double the amount of torque you got in the original car. The 0 to 60 in this car is dispatched in a quick 4.2 seconds, but that's because it is 4-wheel drive. It weighs 1,690 kilograms. Imagine, these days, this is what counts as a light car. Outside, it has a body kit that mimics the original M Technique 2 kit with the double spoiler in the back. Looks cool, I love that. Exterior wise, the Homage has a kit that is specially made for it. It is a kit that mimics the original M Technique 2 kit, which makes it look unique, and it gets its own special set of wheels. And I must say, it looks nice. I do like it. Now we get to the very interesting part. Is this car a cash grab? Yes, in my opinion, it is a big cash grab because all they did was put a kit on a 240X drive, change the interior, put some plaques around 1 of 30, and they're charging you a crazy premium for these rims and the kit. Disgusting. Now, do I have a solution for this? Yes, I'm glad you asked. What would I have done if I was given reign of BMW SA and they said to me, what would the perfect 325is Homage be to you? I don't mind them using the 2 series instead of the 3 because the 3 series is very big and you don't get a 2-door version of the 3 series anymore. That is the 4 series, and if you go for a 4 series, that is very ugly. No. So let's stick with the 2 series. My suggestion is get rid of the 4-wheel drive. That is weight saving galore, just like the original car. That's what it was all about. Second thing that I do to make this car very special, because guys, if you're going to be one of the 33 people who buys this car, you have money. So BMW could have afforded to drop anything on this car. They didn't have to cheap out. Engine wise, I would keep the B58, but because BMW now owns Alpina, they missed a chance to say, Alpina, knock knock knock, come back again. I would bring Alpina to come tune the car. Even if Alpina only managed to get out 50 extra horsepower out of this car from a tune, exhaust, and maybe a turbo from Alpina, it already makes this car special. It will stand out from everything else because it'll have Alpina's fingerprints all over it. Then we put that nice Alpina cover on it. Boom, that's another reason for it to be special. Then we jump to the looks. The kit I think is fine. Maybe the rims, we could change them to make them look like the BBSs that were on the 325is, but also I don't mind these ones. Then the interior, change the seats. Put in some carbon back seats in this baby. There's only 33 of these things going to be made. Make them the best they can be. And the real kicker would have been for them to just say, you know what, just like the original 325is, we need to save a lot of weight. And aluminum was the in thing at that time. It was the best material you could get that was strong and you could save weight. Today, what is that material? Carbon fiber. If this car got a carbon fiber boot, carbon fiber fenders, and a carbon fiber bonnet, it would make it special. They save more weight and the car sticks to its racing roots. And the last thing I do to this car to make it a proper 325is Homage is to take the suspension and the diff from the M2 and put it into this baby. Because the 325is was about handling and racing. So if we just do that, it'll make this car very special. And get it set up maybe at Kyalami to give it that like Nürburgring type of thing. It'll set up at Kyalami, so it makes it even more special to the South African market. Now tell me, do you guys agree with what I say this car should have been? Or do you have an idea of how the 325is could have been made to be more special? I look forward to reading your comments in the comment section. Hit the subscribe button and the like button. See you in the next one.